Hi guys, it's Kari. My friend is having a baby, and these are some of the treats I made for her gender reveal party. The pink designs are linked here on the screen above, so check it out. Here are the items that I used, starting off with some golden Oreos. I have some Rice Krispie treats that I cut in halves, some white chocolate covered pretzels, some jumbo stuffed puffed marshmallows, some vanilla wafers. I have two types of blue sprinkles here, and then also some blue writing gel, and then of course can't forget the white chocolate that we actually dipped all of these delicious treats in. Getting right into it, I went ahead and microwaved my bright white candy melts in a bowl here, so you're just gonna see me pour them all in this bowl, and then I microwaved them on increments of about 30 seconds each, mixed it around a little bit until it became the consistency that I like to see, which I'll show you guys in just a second. So after about a minute and a half in the microwave, this is the consistency that we like to see. It is very smooth and I think very easy and dippable. So I usually use two forks with this process. It just makes it a little easier. So here we go. Starting off with these super jumbo marshmallows, I took a lollipop stick and dipped it right in that chocolate and stuffed it right down inside the marshmallow about halfway through. This was just to make sure that our marshmallow lollipops didn't fall off the stick. Also halfway down so people maybe don't get the stick in their first bite. But yeah, so I pretty much repeated this process with all of the marshmallows, and then I dipped each and every one into the chocolate, which I will show you guys that process right now. So now I'll just take each individual marshmallow and dip it about halfway in the chocolate. I really had to learn to stop dipping it all the way in chocolate because it gets extremely messy and kind of more difficult to dry and keep up with. So halfway dipped in chocolate, it's still white throughout. From there, I'll just take my first set of blue sprinkles and use my fingers to sprinkle the sprinkles all around the melted white chocolate. Once it is pretty well covered, I will just take that marshmallow and kind of stomp the bottom in the rest of those sprinkles there, really just to create a good base when we want to put the marshmallow lollipop on our tray to cool and dry. That's really all that's to it for our first design. I'll show you guys me doing this a couple more times and then we'll move on to the next treat. All right, so now I'm just gonna set these sprinkles to the side for our designs a little later on and get right into our Oreo lollipops, I guess, Oreo sticks, Oreo cookie sticks. So again, I lined my little pan here with parchment paper. This just kind of helps as like a non-stick covering to put our chocolate on for it to be able to cool and dry. I also got some of these flat like popsicle sticks, and they have to be flat because the Oreo cookies are flat themselves. So now you'll see me dividing the Oreos, kind of separating them in half. It doesn't really have to be the neatest idea when it comes to separating the icing. It doesn't always come out like perfectly on one side or the other. So really whatever you get is fine. So yeah, just to make this process a little easier for myself, I went ahead and separated all of the Oreos and laid them out flat. And now I'm going to take my popsicle stick here, dip it in that chocolate again, and place it on one side of the Oreo. While the chocolate is still wet and melted, it is important to go ahead and close up that sandwich cookie just to be able to make it all stick together and hopefully stay that way. So once you kind of sandwich your cookie back together, we're going to place that to the side and let it cool a little bit and get started on the other ones. So again, that process is dipping the lollipop sticks or popsicle sticks into the melted chocolate, laying the melted chocolate on our icing side or even on the cookie side, and closing our sandwich cookies back up on top of that popsicle stick, pressing firmly but not too hard because you don't want your cookie to break, and then we'll put those to the side and get ready to dip them in chocolate in just a few seconds. So now for the fun part. Back to the chocolate. Yes, sometimes you may need to warm it back up in the microwave for about 30 more seconds just to make sure that the consistency is good. But I'm going to go ahead and pop one of these Oreo sticks into the chocolate and make sure it's very well covered, making sure that you can't see any cookie peeking around the corners or the sides. Making sure to get chocolate on the back side of our cookie as well. And then after that, I'm going to tap it on the side of our bowl just to make sure everything is smooth, and then lay it down on our piece of parchment paper to the side and do this to the rest of the cookies. Before the chocolate melts, I'm going to go ahead and take our second batch of sprinkles. They're these little cute star blue sprinkles, and I'm just going to sprinkle them right on top of our cookies. You want to make sure to do this while the chocolate is still melted, just to give it a smoother appearance and make sure that the sprinkles stick to the cookie. I'm going to go ahead and show myself doing this design one more time for the people in the back, and then we'll move on to the next treat. Just to mix it up, I went ahead and used some of those sprinkles from earlier on these as well. For our next design, instead of using sprinkles, I decided to chop up some of these blue little melted chocolate pieces, and I just used my knife and chopped the chocolate down as well as I could, and then I put it to the side. So this is actually for the Rice Krispie treats, so I'll show you how I prepared those right now. These were actually regular sized Rice Krispie treats, and I just went ahead and chopped them in half the short way, just so I could create more mini kind of cute treats for a baby shower. So I took each one of these little mini Rice Krispie treats and I dipped them face down in the white chocolate. This is an example, and that is what I did to each of them. And I really buried it about halfway down. And while the chocolate was still melted, I sprinkled it with that pre-chopped blue chocolate. So I'm just going to show you guys me doing this a few times over, and then we'll move on to our last and final design. So last but absolutely not least are our vanilla wafers here. And I really just dipped them again in that white chocolate about 3/4 of the way down, making sure to not leave any cracks or crevices left. So after I'm done dunking all of these, I'll show you guys the design that I chose for them. Alright, so now that all of those are done, the designs that I used were really cute and simple. I started off with that gel pen and I just kind of put polka dots on this one. However, this may not be the best idea for the bulk of these little wafers because the gel doesn't quite get as hard as the chocolate does. So that's just something to keep in mind as you are decorating. So I only did that design with two of them just to have a little difference. And then with the other set, I just took some of that blue chipped chocolate that we kind of made and then also some of the melted white chocolate and melted it all together to create this pretty light blue color. So then I just took my fork and I just kind of drizzled it across the top of the wafers until they were the amount of blue that I wanted to have. And that's it, guys. This is the finished product. So these are the four designs that I wanted to use for this gender reveal party. I hope that you all have really enjoyed my video. Go ahead and leave me a like and subscribe down below. Leave me some other party themed ideas down below, as well as recipes that you may also want to see on my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.